Okay, welcome to Decluttering Your Time. So, I'm Bianca Mastro Totaro, owner of Enchanted Living Spaces. If any of you guys don't know me, I work with people's homes, bodies, and souls. I am a decluttering coach, feng shui practitioner, a home energy clearer, and now I've been actually doing working on someone's home that their land feels funky. So if you need your land's energy to be heightened, you can contact me for that. I also do soul expansion with flower essences and Chinese herbalism appointments as well. So I have a lot going on, obviously, and my schedule definitely reflects that. I wanted to do this webinar because I feel like a lot of us are running around and we have so many different obligations and goals to do, along with trying to squeeze in what we actually want to do. So this is why I am doing this workshop today. Let's see, I took some notes on what we will be going over. So how many of you guys feel like there's also not a lot of time in your schedules? You can just type it into the chat. Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard. You're doing so much. And for those of us that are on the webinar, we have dogs as well. We don't have children yet, but it's just as much of a struggle to take care of yourself and other, creatures as well, whether they're human babies or fur babies. And then if you have a relationship or any type of friendships even, then that takes, you want to invest some time into those relationships as well. Never mind doing personal growth, work for yourself. So if you were being honest, and you can type into the chat for those of you that are here, or if you're watching the replay, you can type into the comments. What are your biggest obstacles? Like, what are the things that throw you off course? These are the things like maybe on a Monday you plan on doing this, this, and this, and then something happens, right? Sometimes for me, I know one of my biggest obstacles would be trying not to fall into the trap of working on my computer and also having access, to the internet as well. And it's not so much like I'm not going on Facebook and checking stuff, but it's more like I'm in a room of my house and I'm like, you know what? I could really use a decoration for up there. I'm just going to go check on Amazon and Kohl's and Wayfair to see what they have. And then I just get like sucked into this hole of online shopping. Like my brain gets distracted with, wanting to make my house up to the standard that I would like it to be. So Megan says, if I wake up later than expected, yeah, that's unfortunate as well. Luckily, I have my dog Loki, who is like an alarm clock. So every day at sometime between 7 a.m. and 7:30, he starts crying. So he wakes me up. So, why do you wake up later in the day? Is that because you're going to bed late? Because that's something that we'll also be talking about. Like, honestly, how much sleep do you think you need per night? Back when I was, not that I'm 26 right now, so I'm not even that old, but back, 10 years ago when I was 16, 17, 18, I could function super easily on 5 hours of sleep. Now that I'm running around doing more stuff, I still have my day job Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which that's new as of this week actually. But before I was working Monday through Friday full time, running around with children, and then I have dogs, and then I have housework. So really, I need about 9 hours to function, and that may seem like a lot, but I can tell the difference in my alertness, my brain activity, just my overall functioning with if I get less than 9 hours of sleep now. So Megan says her boyfriend is a night owl, and I think that ties into the whole relationship time management. Yeah, absolutely. So what is your what is your average amount of hours that you need with sleep per night for you to function to your highest capacity? Because maybe that means you, in your own personal situation, have to, maybe you're staying up until 11 or even midnight. And if you need 9 hours of sleep, maybe waking up at 9 is the best that you can do. And then you have to work later in the day. Like maybe you're working up until 8 p.m., but then you have to figure out, what is your rhythm like? Or maybe you have to go to bed before your boyfriend does. So I know we get a little bit sidetracked here. Jennifer says she needs about 9.5 hours of sleep. So what time ideally would you be waking up at? Because you have to commit to waking up at a certain time and going to sleep at a certain time. And if you do this enough days in a row, usually you create a cycle and a pattern that you're on. So these are the things that I'd like to talk about next. And so what is your goal for the month? Like, you need to be clear on your goals for the month. And I wanted to share mine just to give you some examples. So like when you start planning out and decluttering your time, it's best to start with the month. So like, for example, for this month, I'm enrolled in 2 courses. I have, I'm running Soul Expansion School with Flower Essences right now for my business. And with also my business, I want to be writing 2 blog posts and do 2 free online workshops every month as well. So now you have like your list of goals that you want to get done for the month. So I would absolutely go ahead and write those down right now. Then once you have your monthly goals, and these could be things like perhaps you want to finish 2 different books this month, or, depending on your situation, maybe you want to go on a cleanse or a diet, or another thing for next month is going to be one of my big projects will be working outside. I want to totally landscape my yard, so that's going to be next month's project, and those goals are going to have to tie into my weekly planning. So the first thing to do is figure out what your monthly goals are. Then you want to really analyze weekly the obligations that you have. So for any of you that are homeowners or parents, or just live in a house where you have to do the work, you want to be listing out what you have to do every week. So for me, I wrote down I have to do laundry, fold, and put away once a week. I vacuum twice a week because I have 2 dogs that destroy my house and get it messy all the time. I have to mop the floors once a week, clean the bathroom once a week, water the plants 1 to 2 times per week. Then you have stuff like, dishes, which is like, that's basically an every night thing. You don't really need to schedule in time for that, but you definitely should for the cleaning. I like to run my dog's bowls through the dishwasher once a week. Then you have things that also take up time, such as cooking, running your errands. You go to the market to get groceries. I have to pick up dog poop. And then, do you want to do meal planning? Is that going to, on Sundays, if you planned your meals for Monday through Friday, is that going to make your life easier? So you really want to get clear on the obligations that you have to do every week. So then from there, we can figure out what, how much time you're going to have to actually do the things that you would actually like to do, right? Because these things do take up a lot of time. And I know it seems kind of strict, But this is, creating a schedule, creating structure and boundaries is good for us. It is part of our earth element in Chinese herbal medicine. It helps us to strengthen our stomach and our spleen. It also helps us to really ground and just create that structure, and it's good. It really is good, and it's beneficial. So Jennifer said exercise. So that's not an obligation. That's something you like to do. So we'll get into that afterwards. So after you figure out what you need to do weekly, you want to figure out what you need to do bi-weekly and then monthly. If you're, like I said, if you are in charge of taking care of your house, there's things that you're going to want to do bi-weekly, such I wash my dog's blankets every other week so that they don't smell and my dogs enjoy fresh blankets. Monthly, I have a steam mop that I can steam the walls and all the like the crown molding, I think it's called, on the top of like the doors, and I steam down my kitchen cabinets just to make sure they're not absolutely disgusting. So that's something that I like to do once a month. Also bi-weekly, clean the tub. Monthly, also, wash the windows on the inside and just dust the whole house. Because, when you take care of your house, you're taking care of yourself. So a lot of this is about cleaning because, we are responsible for that, right? We are the women, we are the caregivers. That's what we do. I mean, unless you have, a significant other that actually wants to help out, which mine will on the weekends, but during the week when shit gets messy, it's me. So you really want to get clear on all those obligations that you have to do and kind of start seeing how much time that they're going to take you. Then we move into the things that we would actually like to do. These are the things for us. So for me, one of the things is taking care of my dogs. I like to walk them, or try to walk them at least 3 to 4 times, a nice hike, during the week, during the winter. When it starts getting nicer out and the sun stays out longer, that's a whole different story. So you really want to take this month to month and figure out your schedule, because if you're in an area like me in Massachusetts, we have all 4 seasons. So it's going to change seasonally. Another thing that I like to do for me personally is meditate at least once a day, work out 3 to 4 times a week, right? So, you guys can list some of the things that, if you'd like to in the chat, some of those things that you would actually like to do. That aren't necessarily obligations, but you definitely want to squeeze and work in some time for yourself, right? And then you have, your personal projects that you might be doing as well. So does anyone want to talk about any specific things that they feel like they don't have enough time for that they would actually want to do? A lot of this also has to do with motivation and energy levels, right? So again, going back to the sleep, if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not going to have enough energy to get out there and implement this stuff. And the ways that you can increase your energy are obviously, working out more, which you have to be motivated for. Eating a certain way, which you have to be motivated for, again, because cooking takes time, right? It really takes time. There's also herbal teas that can increase your energy. I just put a new freebie up on my website that explains some Chinese herbal teas that you can use to increase your vitality. And another huge aspect of energy is the environment that you live in. Because if you're living in an environment that drains you, like you come home and, maybe everything is a mess, or the house is kind of dark in general, it's going to deplete your energy. So when you're taking care of your home, And obviously, I didn't plan on giving you a lecture about cleaning, but when you take care of your home is your second skin. So if you really want to take care of your body as a whole and your energy as a whole, you really need to clean your house. And that means taking care of it. When you take care of it, it really enhances not only your energy, but it brings good luck as well. I got into a discussion earlier today with my boyfriend who has some health issues. And I was trying to correlate it back to his past living environments, and they haven't been clean. There's been mold in the house before, dust, dog fur all over the place, also ammonia from animals peeing. And if you think about that, like, what is the effect that it's going to have on your health? You know, I'm pretty sure he has an autoimmune disease, and yes, some of that relates to emotional well-being, but on the other hand of that, it's environment as well, right? You know, clutter, dust, disgustingness of any sort, hidden mold, that all lowers the energy in your body and also in your environment. And if you're someone, like I said before, with dogs, just like me, I have to vacuum twice a week. It'll get absolutely gross, and ideally I'd like to mop twice a week, but I have to be realistic with the amount of time that I have. So let me just look at the chat quickly. So Megan says, I seem to rebel against having to do the work during the week since I am home more. So I find I somehow don't have time for things up until right before my partner gets home. Yeah. So are you talking about cleaning, or are you talking about, cleaning? So I'm going to show you what I have for my weekly plan out. You don't do it all at once. Like today, I was kicking myself in the ass because I woke up immediately. I did the dishes. I vacuumed the whole house, and we have a pretty big house. Then I mopped the whole house and decided to do laundry as well. So this is my day off that I use for my business, and I spent a huge chunk of my time working on my home. And this just is the circumstances of this week, because last weekend I wasn't home. So usually I spread out the cleaning, but because I was gone, I had to really spend a full day cleaning. So it took me from 8 a.m. and then I think I was done close to 2. And that really freaking sucks. So you really want to split it up. Like, you wake up right in the morning on a Monday, and maybe that's when you want to do your laundry. So you throw your laundry in, right? And while that's running, then you start doing other things that you would like to do, right? So maybe that's, walk your dog in the morning, or maybe it's, make breakfast and meditate immediately, but that's taken care of itself already. So you don't have to be with the laundry while it's, going through its cycle. But in terms of, vacuuming and mopping, do you find yourself waking up and becoming motivated? Like, what I find that when I clean my house, the best thing to do is just first thing in the morning, right when I wake up. So I tend to do my dishes in the morning as opposed to at night when I'm tired. So you really want to space it out in a way that's not affecting you so greatly, and that you don't have to do it all at once. So you really want to break that up. And I'll show you exactly what my schedule looks like as well. So Jennifer says, I put everything before my studying, so I have to etch in time for that first. Well, sometimes, we have limiting beliefs that hold us back as well. So in terms of working on our business or studying for school or something like that, Sometimes we have a fear of success, or a fear of, if you have the limiting belief that maybe you don't have a high intelligence, that's not going to make you want to actually do something that is making you smart, right? So there's a little bit more behind certain things as to why we don't want to do them. So that's something you can meditate on and take a look on, but you need to schedule it in, right? This is like a no bullshit thing, right? We're fitting in absolutely everything that we love and we would actually like to do. So you just have to schedule time for it, and you have to ask yourself, what time of day works best? When are you apt to learn the best? When are you, is it right in the morning, or do you feel energized at night? I always say that my best time to work personally, like on my business, I feel like is 11 to 3, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then after 3 p.m., I hit like the afternoon slump. And that's when you can kind of, if anyone has that as well, the cleaning tasks that you have to do to take care of your house, you don't need your brain for, right? So sometimes people take a while to wake up in the morning. And that's for me, like me, I drink organic coffee. I have to have at least 3 cups before my brain turns on. I'm not drinking, high chemical, high caffeine stuff. So I find that I clean best right in the morning, but I can't use my brain really unless forced to after 3 p.m. So that's when I find it's best for me to either read a book or work out. That's a good time. I don't need my brain to work out. I just need to be like, you know what? Summer's coming, like 3 months away. You got to get your ass to the freaking. I work out at my house. I use the YouTube app, and I go and I work out in my living room. So Jennifer says 1 to 4. Right. So then you do the bullshit stuff that you're kind of obligated to do before and after that. But really ask yourself, what is the best time that I can function at? And it's unfortunate that some of us have work during those times. But for you usually have 2 days off, at least on the weekends. And then you really have to look at, do you have your children full time on the weekends where, Monday through Friday, they might be going to school, or what do your weekends usually look like? Because is it really, packed? Like I find that during the spring and the summer, it's like every weekend someone's having a birthday or some type of cookout or some type of party. So for me, even when I was working full time, I had to do my business stuff Monday through Friday, because on the weekends they tend to be booked up. So it's like almost like treat those things that you would like to do for personal work as a Monday through Friday thing, right? Because you want to give yourself time for spontaneous things as well. So Monday through Friday, get your shit together, and then on the weekends, you can kind of have a free for all. Although I do have some business hours during the weekend, but I made my hours so that if I wanted to go and drive my dogs, 25, 35 minutes out to take them for a 2-hour hike and come back and eat, that I could do that, and then I have my business hours later in the day. So let me just check up on my notes quick. So another thing is there anything that you can cut out, right? Are there ways that you can free up time? Like I'm really contemplating, and I might look at this, like how much, honestly, like if I could pay $60 to $70 per month to have someone come and clean my house once a month, like, is that worth it? Are there things that you're doing that you could maybe throw, a little bit of money at and give yourself that extra time? Such as, like, I know they have grocery delivery services, or, if that's taking up a lot of your time, maybe that's something that you can consider. Or also I found that going to the grocery store on the weekend, like with my boyfriend, took about 3 hours worth of time, which is way too freaking long. So my Saturdays would just be gone. So now I'm going, since I have, Tuesdays and Thursdays off now, and also sometimes I go after work at 5 p.m. So you really got to figure out, the best times to do things as well. That's really something that you should look at. So let's see, I'm going to screen share, and I'd like to actually show you kind of what I did this week. And some of the things aren't accurate because some tasks take longer than you would expect them to. So I highly suggest using this template that I'll be showing you either on Numbers on your Mac, Excel on your Microsoft computer, or Google Sheets, because this is going to be adaptable. Like once you write anything down in a paper planner, like you can't, unless you're doing it in pencil, you can't undo it. So let me just screen share quickly. Okay, so here's Google Sheets. I'm just going to put this down. Right, and you get to this by having a Google account, and you go to this, the Google Apps, you go to Sheets, and you can click right here. They have this pre-made schedule. And look at this. Monday through Sunday, right here, you can change this stuff around. But this is totally free, you guys. And you can add templates above and below to make this expand until 8 or 9, depending on your schedule. Some people might work overnights, but I will show you. Right. So this was, sorry about that. This was my schedule this week. So today is Thursday, and I changed this because this took me, I literally had it scheduled from, I think, 8 a.m. to 10 that I was going to be cleaning and doing the laundry, meditate, and eat, and that's not true. It took me freaking like 5 hours. So you have to do trial and error, right? You have to do trial and error here. You need to do, like I said, like not everything's going to work great. So what I do is, at least on this, I have my goals for the day. So certain days I read and study. I'd like to vacuum on Tuesdays. On Thursdays I have, laundry, and I work out again. I schedule and take my dogs for a walk, business hours, cooking, as well, because cooking takes up a decent amount of time. My boyfriend gets home at like 6:30. So, by the time I get home most of the days at like 5:15, 5:30 some days. I want to, basically get home, cook by the time he's home. It's like 6:30, and then that's it. I'm done for the day. If I want to do anything, not only am I freaking exhausted, but also a big part of my life is my boyfriend. So I want to be spending time with him after 6:30 most days. And then another thing too, is you can see my goals of the month up here, and I scheduled out this workshop. So we're right here. I can go ahead and strike that out because this will be done. So you really want to set up something like this so that you can see where your time is going. You can actually see how long things take you. You can prioritize everything in there. So Megan, again, you said you have some resistance to it. Well, what time are you best working at? And also, you don't want to work nonstop. And if you take time to work on your home, it's gonna repay you. And then on the weekends, or whatever, if you have a significant other and they are home on the weekends with you, can they help do some of those tasks? Like how can you figure out a way for you to lessen the amount of time spent on your obligations, right? That's really, really important. So that was this week, and then I was just starting to make my one for next week, but I'm definitely not scheduling, I'm not cleaning my whole house and doing laundry all together ever again, because that was like absolutely terrible. So sometimes you have to get good at saying no as well. If I have a hard time doing that, it seems like every weekend there's always something, and people, guilt you into going into stuff. But honestly, what are your priorities? But I really highly suggest making your home one, because when you make your home one, I swear to God, like life changes. When your home is a priority, the energy is elevated, you get better sleep, you have better health. It really pays off, and you're going to feel happy when your home is happy as well. Let's see. I got a good one scheduling in when you look at your email or social media. Oh, yes. When you look at your email or social media, I get caught up in emails throughout the day. Yeah. So another thing, if people are bothering the heck out of you, emailing you nonstop, I think I woke up to like 40 emails today. It's time to unsubscribe, right? Unsubscribe. And I actually view my emails right in the morning. I know a lot of people say, don't do that. Don't start your day out like that. It's going to set you up for the rest of your day with like distractions. But when you're running a business, like if I need to look at my emails, and that's basically the only time that I actually have to at least read out what came through overnight, right? Right. It really is about finding what works for you and your schedule. So I hope this helped out. I know this was quick. Is there any other questions? Do you guys, I can totally send you a template if you guys have a Mac. It's usually on a Mac. Where can you get the schedule, or where can you get yeah. So I can send this over to you. I think, let me see. Let me just screen share really quickly. Let's see, new. Do they have one on here? I thought that they did. Yes, schedule. So, you can go ahead and change this to 30 minutes as well if you want to do that. I did 1 hour, and then I just added more rows to make my day longer, because really your day is probably going to be looking like something like 8 a.m. to 7 or 8 a.m. to 6. So then, you can go ahead and edit up here. You can do this on the Google Sheet as well, and put in, your monthly goals, your weekly goals, and anything else that you would like to keep on track. Make sure you're getting stuff done. And then I do have a paper calendar as well. So I know that's a little bit freaking crazy, but I like to see it on both. But at least you can change, like my official one is the online one, or is the numbers one that I'm using. But I still like to have like a layout of the month on paper. So if anyone needs any help, you can feel free to reach out to me, and I can kick your ass a little bit, make sure that you're on track, and you're actually scheduling in things that you want to. But really make those lists out. You can listen to this webinar again. I recorded it. Get it all out on paper, and you can also guesstimate how much time each is going to take you, right? Like if I go to the supermarket by myself, it usually only takes me an hour, but if I go with my mom, sometimes it takes a little longer, or if I go with my boyfriend, sometimes it takes a little longer as well, because you're with someone else. You're both looking, and you both probably eat different things. So maybe one week you have to go by yourself instead of going with another person because you're limited on time. Then if you're worried about, like I said, if you have kids or dogs, everything is different. So you really have to find out what works best for you, schedule it, and you can even set reminders right on your phone. Like, hey, the next task is going to be starting in a half an hour. So just like, you can move into the next task more easily. And also, don't forget to make time just to relax. This isn't meant for you to work your ass off from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. It's just kind of showing you where your time is going, some things you can get rid of, some things you should be spending more time on. And I hope this has helped you guys out. So thank you so much for watching. And I scheduled another free workshop. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to do it because that's what I'm doing every month now. So I'll be in touch. So have a good one. Thank you guys for coming. Yay. Thank you. Bye.